Investigation by a group of journalists offers a glimpse at how the rich and famous invest their money and hide their assets. Among the bold-faced names, Queen Elizabeth, Bono, and President Trump's Commerce Secretary, who's shown to have some indirect investment ties to Vladimir Putin's inner circle. Tonight, Chief Washington correspondent James Rosen leads us through the labyrinth known as the Paradise Papers.
A year ago, Russian President Vladimir Putin waited in his Novo-Ogayovo residence outside Moscow to see Leonid Mikhelsin, CEO of Novatek, Russia's largest independent natural gas producer. Last month, Putin applauded a new concert hall in St. Petersburg with businessman Gennady Timchenko, a target of U.S. sanctions. Those men and Putin's son-in-law, Kirill Shamalov, are the owners or major shareholders in Sybor, a Moscow-based energy firm that has done some $70 million in business with Navigator Holdings, a Marshall Islands shipping firm whose stakeholders include Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross. The disclosures appear in 13 million pages of leaked documents from offshore financial firms, published in newspapers worldwide as the Paradise Papers. The papers reportedly show Queen Elizabeth invested some £10 million offshore, with some of the royal funds steered to a now bankrupt lender. Likewise, U2 frontman Bono.
I didn't make my name in mathematics.
Reportedly invested in a Maltese holding company that purchased a mall in Lithuania, now under investigation for possible tax evasion. The International Consortium of Investigative Journalists, which researched the papers, acknowledges all of these arrangements are legal.
There's also the question of whether America's top economic representative in dealings with foreign countries should have a financial stake in a company that's making money from Putin cronies.
In the case of Secretary Ross, whose cabinet agency helps implement sanctions, ICIJ claims his stake in Navigator, while disclosed in 3 separate places during his confirmation process, was not sufficiently advertised.
Sybor itself was not then sanctioned, is not now sanctioned, and never was sanctioned in between.
There ought to be hearings, and if he fails to provide a convincing and compelling explanation, he ought to resign.
Except that a spokesman for the chair of the Senate Commerce Committee, John Thune, agrees Ross disclosed his Navigator stake and has simply asked Ross to follow the advice of his department's ethics officers if they determine there's any conflict. Brett?
James Rosen live in D.C. James, thank you.